feeling low.
Hey there, my lemon slices, and welcome back to the Lemonade Stand, or welcome if you are new. My name is Brianna. I'm a certified personal trainer, a big, huge biology nerd, and a registered dietitian to be. And for today's installment of MLM Top Fails, I got something, and I'm super excited about it. I am going to be reacting to a body consultant who saw a bit of my content and she decided she did not like it, and she went off in her Instagram stories all about me. Before we proceed, if you love science-based health, wellness, and fitness education with some lulz and some dry sarcasm along the way, hit that subscribe button and join the Lemonade Stand. I would truly love to have you here. Without anything further, let's make lemonade. Okay, so a little bit of background. Last week, I got an email from someone whose name I won't share. Let's give her a fake name. Let's call her Melissa. I don't know why. It's just a name that I always seem to think of, especially when it comes to Beachbody stuff, man. I just spilled. I'm just drinking water, by the way. I'm also eating kumquats. I like kumquats now. Anyway, so Melissa sent me this email. She's clapping back at me for posting snippets of your videos and saying why the plans starve you. Saying I did it wrong if I was starving. Haven't I heard that before? These people infuriate me, and I was going to drop it, but since she wanted to watch my stories and clap back. So as you can see, there's a video attached to this email, and I actually tried to watch it via this Google Drive link that she sent me, but Google Drive was being a hoe, and it wouldn't like upload the video and let me watch it. So I hit her back an email and I said, hey, I can't watch it on Google Drive. Can you send it to me like in Instagram DMs maybe? Like send me the screen recording in DMs. So at that time, the girl's story was still up. It had not past the 24-hour mark yet. So I watched it directly on this girl's Instagram page, and I about died of laughter. So I asked Melissa, what exactly of my content did you share that got this girl so freaking triggered? And she told me that she shared just a couple of clips from my video of when I did the 21-day fix, and the video where I was reacting to 4-week gut protocol before and afters, and talking a little bit about the 4-week gut protocol program. Now, like me at that point, you're probably wondering, what was Melissa's relationship to this girl? So I asked her. Melissa actually knows this girl personally from their time in school together. So this rep apparently frequently posts about how she's dealt with disordered eating and about how Beachbody has saved her. Before you guys lose your collective minds, I'm not laughing at disordered eating, okay? Disordered eating is not funny. I am laughing at the irony of that. If I had to answer the question, hey Brianna, what's the number one thing, like grievance that you hear from people who were former Beachbody customers or consultants? It's definitely going to have to be that Beachbody programs and the culture in general gave them an eating disorder. It's terrible, but when you take a step back and look at the programs and just look at the culture, it's easy to see how that can happen to so many people. Okay, that's enough prelude. Let's get to the reaction.
Okay, so I do have a funny to tell y'all. So apparently there's this girl up on the internet, and she has a whole lot to say about like our nutrition plans and stuff. And I'm like one of those people, like, I do my job on social media. I don't like scroll and get too involved in like conflict. Like, honestly, I don't have the energy or the time to like to mess with that.
There was no conflict, though. You just got triggered because you didn't like that somebody was being critical of your precious Beachbody. Okay? There was no conflict. Nobody was upset about anything except you. I love when they say they have no energy or time for this. Meanwhile, this series of stories that we're about to watch is almost 6 minutes long. Now, that doesn't sound like a long time, but it actually kind of is to be staring at your phone talking to strangers on the internet. I say as I film a YouTube video for my audience of mostly strangers. At least I'm getting paid, though.
And I just don't do drama. Like, if there's drama, I'm like, okay, bye. But so I have heard that there's this girl that that's on the internet, and she was talking about how like our nutrition plans, like we pretty much starve you. And that's a total lie, because any of my girls that like,
yes, they starve you, in my opinion, very much.
Like follow the plans, usually what happens is they're struggling to get all the containers in. Because what usually happens, guys, is we are under eating. I had one of my mamas that just joined my program. She was like, I didn't realize like how much I was under eating. And so she's been like practicing using her containers, and she's like, I feel so much better because I feel like I'm properly fueled now. And a lot of people think that like you only get those containers once a day. Guys, you get those food groups multiple times a day.
Who thinks that? What kind of weird nutrition plan would that be where you only do the plan one time a day? Who thinks that? No one thinks that.
That's the importance and like why I come and I preach on here that like you cannot watch somebody's Instagram stories and figure out a nutrition plan. Like, guys, your health is worth the investment.
Okay, she said you just can't watch somebody's Instagram stories and learn about a nutrition plan. I'm sorry, what is it that you're doing right now? You're on your Instagram stories trying to educate about a nutrition plan. And you're absolutely right. Instagram stories are not always the best medium to educate, depending on what the topic is. And when it comes to topics of nutrition, that's very extensive. That's why I make YouTube videos. They're much more consumable and easier for viewers to digest. If you've been a viewer of my channel for a long time, you are probably familiar with my Brianna Tries series. In it, I have tried diets and workouts and even social media workout equipment. Like last year, I tried the Booty Sprout. I actually liked it, by the way. I still have it. So I have tried a couple Beachbody nutrition programs. I have tried the 21-day fix / ultimate portion fix, whatever the hell it's called, and the 3-day refresh. Both programs were absolutely terrible, but to be totally fair, the 3-day refresh was actually far worse than the portion fix. I voiced all that in the videos, and I think the reason I felt that is because, like, at least in the portion fix, I got to eat real food. So my conclusion for these programs across the board is that they were terrible because they were highly restrictive, especially the 3-day refresh. You cannot look me in the eye and tell me that the 3-day refresh program from Beachbody is not restrictive. I was averaging around 800 calories a day. If you don't think that that is restrictive, then you have a serious problem. You have more issues that I can help you with right now, honestly. So the ultimate portion fix, which is what she's referring to when she's talking about the containers, like whenever Beachbody reps are talking about the containers or the container system, that's the program they're talking about, the ultimate portion fix. It used to be called the 21-day fix. In my opinion, that program is less restrictive, but it is still quite restrictive. Allow me to justify that opinion. There are lists of yes and no foods, or approved and unapproved foods. Whenever there's a list of foods you can and cannot consume, that's a red flag, honey. Unless you have a medical condition and are following a medically supervised diet, there's no reason why a healthy human cannot eat more than a square of chocolate cake. And no, I don't want a piece of goddamn flourless, gluten-free, dairy-free, taste-free chocolate cake. I want a real piece of chocolate cake. Secondly, the fact that that program had so many rules that you had to follow made it difficult to do it right. This, in my opinion, makes it completely unsustainable. Now, if you were following me around that time and caught my Instagram stories, then you may have seen my stories where I was responding to like 1 or 2 people who made comments about that video that said I didn't do it right. So therefore it was my fault that I was miserable on the plan because I didn't do it right. One of those people that said I did it wrong was apparently a holder of a bachelor's degree in nutrition. I still can't wrap my head around that. Telling someone they failed at a crash diet for doing it wrong should perfectly highlight to you how unsustainable it is. Lastly, she said most people are under eating. That's not true. Now, do I have any statistics to prove that? No. But when you take a step back and you look at the standard American diet, no, most people are not under eating. Most people are actually probably overeating. It's actually very common for people to vastly underestimate how much they're really eating. Most people think they eat far less than they actually do. However, if we once again take a look at the standard American diet, it's obvious that most people are actually not eating enough fruits and vegetables. If I give the container system anything, I will say that it does have you eating a good amount of vegetables. So when she was just saying that she has people in her group that struggle to get in their containers, I'm willing to bet that it's the vegetable container, the green one, that they're struggling to get the most of. Because most Americans don't eat enough vegetables. And I remember when I was doing the 21-day fix, I think I had like 3 or 4 containers of vegetables a day, and the vegetable container, the green one, is the biggest one. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna go get it. It's in my closet right there. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think they're upstairs in my kitchen because I do use them for like food storage. So never mind. Sorry, they're upstairs. I'll put a picture up on the screen. The green container is the biggest container. When I was doing doing the 21-day fix, the container that I had the most of, I think, was the green one. So when you step back and take a look at it, when you consider most people don't eat enough vegetables, it's not surprising that maybe a lot of people who don't regularly eat vegetables have a hard time eating more vegetables. So I'm willing to bet that's what she means. Can I confirm that? No, but I am speculating based on information and data that I do know. Lastly, ma'am, a healthy person becoming reliant on a system like this just to eat falls within the confines of disordered eating. According to eatright.org, a symptom of disordered eating is rigid rituals or routines surrounding food or exercise. Feeling like you can only eat your food after it has been pre-portioned and pre-measured into specific color-coded containers can be considered a rigid ritual. Now, as always, these things are never black and white. As terrible as a container system was for a lot of people, there's still a lot of people out there who probably really liked it and who felt like it genuinely worked for them. Clearly, she feels that she's one of those people. The problem, though, is that since she feels that this system worked for her and everyone around her, she cannot imagine a reality in which it's bad for anyone. It worked for me, so there's no possible way it can be bad for anyone, right? No, ma'am. No. The reality of it is, ma'am, is that Beachbody nutrition programs, based on my knowledge, based on information that I've gathered and collected over the last several years of doing this, Beachbody nutrition programs have had a negative impact on a lot of people, in their opinions. I get DMs probably on a weekly basis at this point from people who say, man, I was in Beachbody or as a rep or a consultant for X amount of years, and I've been in recovery from an eating disorder ever since. I've been in recovery from orthorexia ever since. My message to you, ma'am, is if you're going to be a fitness and wellness professional, you need to understand and acknowledge that not every single system works for every single person. Just because it works for some doesn't mean it's going to work for all. And for those people who had a negative experience with it, maybe acknowledge that they exist instead of just denying their existence entirely. Your precious container system is not as amazing as you think it is.
Your health is worth the investment. Do your homework, do the program to its entirety, to its fullness. Stop half doing it and do it correctly. I want your body to be fueled properly.
Yeah, make sure you do it right, or else it's all your fault if you're miserable on it. Oh, you're doing the 3-day refresh and you ate 2 cups of chicken broth instead of 1 cup of chicken broth, like the program says for dinner. That puts your daily calories at 815 instead of 800. So you did the program wrong and your body is not going to be fueled properly. Yeah, while eating soup broth for dinner, which was optional, by the way. The soup broth was optional. And a disgusting fiber shake twice a day. Yeah, sounds like great fuel for your body.
I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist. What I can tell you over the last almost 5 years, through these programs, through these nutrition plans, through using the dietitians that are within our organization, they have just helped me learn to fuel my body properly.
Did you get one-on-one time with all these RDs who were within Beachbody? Is that what she's getting at? The only dietitian that we see publicly who we know is associated with Beachbody is Ilana Malstein. Have you had one-on-one sessions with her? I doubt you have. And again, with the fuel my body properly. No healthy human is fueling their body properly on 800 calories a day, as I was eating in the 3-day refresh, or about 12 to 1300 calories a day as I was eating in the 21-day fix.
I trust what they say. They are so intelligent and they know their stuff. They are certified and well educated.
A dietitian is a credential that requires a licensure. And B, are you sure all the dietitians at Beachbody are well educated, as you put it? Because wasn't it just a few weeks ago that we heard Ilana Malstein say that white rice was not nutritious and just, quote, bleached sugar?
Of a lot of meals is you're not going to get 1 grain of white rice in a lot of meals, because you know what white rice is? Not only is it just bleached sugar and it doesn't have nutrition in it, but 2 is it's a filler food.
I got a lot to say about this video and none of it's good. First of all, she's wrong. Rice isn't bleached, it's actually white. Second, it's not sugar. While white rice isn't high in fiber, it has nutrients in it and resistant starch that feeds your good gut bacteria. Rice is also inexpensive, and for some people, it's the only thing that they can afford. Just as importantly, white rice is a staple for more than half the world's population. When you shit on white rice, you're showing zero cultural competence or respect for the people who consider it a cultural food. I don't like to criticize other dietitians, but this person really needs to do better.
The principle of a lot of meals is you're not going to get 1 grain of white rice in a lot of meals, because you know what white rice is? Not only is it just bleached sugar and it doesn't have nutrition in it.
So as a registered dietitian, you're telling me that white rice is just bleached sugar and it has no nutritional value. Let's look. Well, first, let's rice is white. It's not bleached. Now let's look at this. So if there's no nutritional value, what is all of this stuff? Are you sure you're a registered dietitian, Alana?
Which is absolutely categorically incorrect information. That is very easy to look up, by the way. Anybody can look that up and debunk why she's wrong. So, I don't know. I mean, are all the dietitians at Beachbody well educated?
And for me, I know what it's done for my life, and it's taught me how to fuel properly, not to undereat, how to fuel my body when I'm doing different programs, like based off the intensity. And so it's just helped me tremendously. Like that, working out was never a struggle. I can do that. I can press play on a workout, but it was my mindset around food, and it was my discipline with nutrition to fuel properly. And so you got to do it right. You got to know what your goals are. And okay, my kids are losing their brains, but I'm going to wrap this up real quick. But all that to say, guys, people are always going to have stuff to say. There's always going to be those negative people out there. But after I learned about this like little negative Nancy on the internet.
My name is Brianna, ma'am. Okay. I don't know what your name is. Actually, I do know what her name is because I see it. But since you gave me a nickname, I'm going to give you a nickname. I think Karen is very fitting for you. And once again, honey, criticism is not the same as negativity. Somebody saying, hey, I used a container system for like 3 years and now I have a raging eating disorder and a terrible body image issues. And she sees that and she's like, you're so negative. What the hell is wrong with you? That's valid criticism and that's valid input. That speaks more to the issue about the system than the person. But you're blaming the person instead of the system in the organization that you're a part of because you have this weird allegiance to Beachbody for some reason.
I was like, guys, like, people like that don't stop me from sharing because I have truly witnessed life transformation from people doing these nutrition plans, just really investing in their health. I tell people all the time, like my sister is living proof of life transformation. And she's probably going to kill me for just talking about her on here. But truly, like she was in such a bad place in her life. Just really just deep down in postpartum depression. And she just started working out. That was the first thing she did. She started working out, started moving her body. She started taking back her nutrition. She started taking control over what she was putting in her body. She was fueling her body with good, healthy foods. And no, this is not a cure. Let me just go ahead and lay out that disclaimer. Not a cure for postpartum depression, but it surely can help. For me, it was postpartum anxiety. Getting just 30 minutes to myself to press play on a workout helps me tremendously.
Okay, so now I just feel like she's just tugging on the heartstrings of parents, particularly moms. Postpartum depression is a very common occurrence. As somebody who's child-free by choice, I feel like people should talk about it more, but unfortunately we don't because society is too busy romanticizing motherhood and parenthood in general and making it seem like it's all sunshine and rainbows, and then people get postpartum depression and then no one talks about it because there's a negative stigma associated with it, which is sad. I'm not going to say I can relate because I can't. I don't have kids, I don't want kids, and I'm never having kids. You guys know that. I say it all the time. But I can certainly sympathize with mental health struggles for sure. Now, I believe it's absolutely disgusting to target a group of people as vulnerable as moms who are dealing with postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, etc. Now, you guys can disagree with me if you want to, but I just feel like this is part of her sales pitch, as bad as that sounds. If you're making this story to clap back at me, why is your postpartum anxiety relevant? Oh my God, Brianna, you're so insensitive. No, I'm not. I'm not being insensitive. Those are very real and serious struggles that people deal with every single day. But it has nothing to do with me and you responding to my content and clapping back at me at my content. I'm not a mom with postpartum depression. Even if I were, I'm not joining Beachbody. And it's absolutely reprehensible that you'd use that as a pain point to get people to join your pyramid. Join your team or your challenge group or buy Shakeology or whatever. Look how good I'm doing. I had postpartum anxiety and Beachbody helped me so much. Oh my God. Why don't you just tell them to go outside and go for a walk and exercise? Why don't you just tell them to drink some water or enjoy a cup of tea? Why don't you just tell them to eat more fruits and vegetables? Probably because none of that stuff is profitable for her, but she won't ever say that out loud.
With postpartum depression, feeling better because I put good foods in my body and it helps me just feel fueled and it helps me feel good. That helps me with my postpartum depression. Does it cure it? Absolutely not. But it's a step in the right direction. And so you will never see me stop sharing about this because I know that it can help change a life.
You're also forgetting the other reason why you won't stop sharing about it, which is that you have something to gain monetarily. You want people to join your challenge group so that you can eventually pitch the business opportunity to them. You want them to join your team so that they start the auto ship for Shakeology because every time they spend money, you get a piece of that. Stop acting like you are doing this for such selfless, altruistic reasons. You're not. Because if you genuinely cared about people's health and well-being, you would actually share with them evidence-based information in support. Not a container system which has potentially given thousands of people worldwide an eating disorder. And let's be totally fair here. She's someone on the internet who wants money. You could say that same thing about me. I'm someone on the internet who wants money too. I have an Oreo and lemonade addiction to feed. But the difference between us, the way I see it anyway, is I have a lot more integrity than she does. I constantly promote other professionals and other people that I recommend you follow more than I promote my own brand, with the exception of me announcing that I have a new ebook drop. Like a couple weeks ago, I launched a new ebook and a lot of you guys bought it and showed your support. Really appreciate that. Or maybe when I announced that I'm going to start accepting new clients again. I hardly ever mention, especially in YouTube videos, really. I always link my stuff below, but I don't really mention it in the video, that I have ebooks for sale on my website and that I accept one-on-one clients. That's why I don't want people to just buy my stuff and then be done. I want people to be educated and informed so that they can make the best decision for themselves moving forward forever, for the rest of their lives. I don't care if you don't want to pay me for one-on-one training. It's okay with me if you don't. What I do care about though is that the person you do choose to train with is informed, educated, evidence-based, and unbiased. All things which a majority of Beachbody consultants clearly are not. People have reached out to me before for one-on-one training, but I wasn't able to help them because at the time I wasn't accepting new clients. But I don't like to just say no and then send people on their way. I wanted to be able to do something to give them some kind of help. So you know what I've done before? I've given people free copies of my ebooks before. I said, listen, I'm not currently taking on new clients, but here's something to help you on your way. Because I don't want you to be led astray by somebody who just cares about lining their own pockets. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out. I still talk to and help previous clients of mine who don't pay me anymore for training. Miss Thang, have you ever bought a month's supply of Shakeology for anyone who couldn't afford it? Have you ever paid for anyone in your downline, assuming you have a downline? Have you ever paid for them to continue their auto ship when they couldn't? Has anyone ever said to you, I really want to work out, but I don't want to join your team, but I also can't just afford Beachbody? Have you ever paid for their Beachbody On Demand membership? I'm willing to bet the answer to all of those questions is no. Because I don't believe at all that you're sharing this because it's just helped you so much. Stop acting like you're so philanthropic and altruistic and selfless. You have a motive, and at the end of the day, that motive is to line your own pockets, ma'am.
Change a life. There's so many pieces into different things that we have going on in our life, but I can tell you this is a step in the right direction to feeling better. And so that's never been about weight.
Things that can help you feel better: a doctor, Valium, water, vegetables, sleep, yoga. That's just a random list of things that might help one feel better depending on what's going on with them. Losing money in a marketing scheme, which you're almost certain to lose money in, is generally not on the list of things to help people feel better. Although actually, I don't know, maybe it is. You know what they say, a Ponzi scheme a day keeps the doctor away.
Loss, it's never been about a pant size. It's never been about the scale. I want to help you feel better. I want to help you reach your goals, whatever they may be. They're going to be different than mine. They're going to be different than the girls on my team. You have to know what it is that you need in your life to feel better. That's always the goal, is to feel better. We all want to feel better, right? And so when we move our body and we put good, healthy foods in our body, we feel better. And so with my tools and resources, like that's how I help my girls. I help them with the same thing that I'm doing. All I'm doing is telling you what I'm doing and how it's helping me. And so that's just the beauty of like what we get to do as coaches is like, I am not an expert, but I can show you what I'm doing and I can help give you the same tools and resources that I use on my journey and how they've helped and just blessed my life. So
yeah, and those tools and resources are always going to lead you to her Beachbody link, to her website link, so that when you order Shakeology, it's through her link, or when you sign up, it's through her link and stuff like that. All right, so that was the last of it. Now, there is one last thing I want to share before I kind of offer my closing thoughts here. This is good. So like most people in mainstream society in 2023, I have more than one Instagram account. I've never shared my other Instagram account because it's the account that I follow a lot of the people that I end up reacting to in videos and debunking and stuff like that. They usually block my main account, so I have another Instagram account, right? And I'm not going to say what my other Instagram account is either because I needed to be incognitus. So after I had this interaction with Melissa and she showed me this girl's Instagram and stuff, I started following her Instagram on my other account. And I kid you guys not, I think it was maybe a couple hours later, this girl in the video we just watched, Karen, she sent me a DM. So let's read it. Hey friend, thanks for following along in my stories yesterday. This coaching community is seriously such a blessing to me. Here's our behind the scenes Facebook page if you want to follow along and get to know me and my girls a little better. Oh, look at that. And then she gave me a link. Oh, this is too much. Let's click on the link. Let's see what her Facebook group looks like. Private group, 26 members. Yeah. So she sent me a DM after. All I did was follow her. But you guys know, if you are familiar with multi-level marketing companies and how they work, you guys know that in general, they are desperate to recruit. Recruiting is typically the most important thing to make money. So all I did was watch her stories and hit the follow button, and she sent me that DM. Again, I'm not going to show you guys my profile, but I have to imagine that that message that she sent me was far from the only one. That's why she didn't even address me by name. She probably just copied it and pasted it from everybody else who she probably sent it to, who watched her stories or who followed her that same day. So she probably doesn't even remember sending that to me, and I did not respond to it. Okay, well, let's offer some closing thoughts here. That was a train wreck. She sure showed me, huh, guys? I think the part that I hated about that the most is her acting like she's being so generous and selfless and like she's doing me a favor. Like she's doing you all a favor by sharing this. Even just now in that DM, she's like, this has just helped me so much and I just want to share it with you. Stop acting like you're being so generous and selfless. We all know that's not the case. She has something to gain from someone buying Shakeology, using her link, or signing up under her on her team. The thing that's quite interesting about, I guess, she and I is, I mean, there is a parallel between she and I, and is that I guess we're both kind of interested in the fitness, wellness, nutrition kind of space. But we're different in that I'm no nonsense, and I'm not only trying to get you to buy only my stuff. I didn't decide to start YouTube and shift my platform from just basic #FitChick to what I do now only for money. Yes, when I started making more money on YouTube, it was awesome, and I was very glad to be able to quit my job at the local gym to be able to do YouTube full time. I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass and act like I don't like making money doing this. I do, and I feel very grateful that I'm able to. But the root of my platform really started with helping to inform the inexperienced, helping them gain education and information and giving them knowledge so that they could steer clear of scams. Educating those who feel helpless because they have fallen prey to weight loss scam after weight loss scam after weight loss scam. It's not your fault. It's the industry's fault. Sharing my love of nutrition and science so that people are more informed and stop falling for nutrition and wellness gimmicks that we see all over the place. I don't care if you don't buy my ebook, but I do care that you don't fall for fitness influencer scammers out here or throw away money on yet another detox diet in a desperate attempt to lose weight or just get healthy. Listen, I'm not somebody who's very sensitive, and I really hate to get all flowery and touchy-feely right now, but I have to say this. If you watch a video of mine and you learn something new that you didn't know before, then I have done what I set out to do. And at the end of the day, what have you really given me aside from just a few minutes of your time? It doesn't cost you any money to watch this video right now. Versus her, who's just propositioning people to join her team and sign up for the auto ship. And in that situation, what are you giving up? At least $100 a month, because that's how much Shakeology costs. So it's $130. But I think like if you're a member or something, and I think if you do the auto ship, it's $100. Way overpriced. You can get a month's supply of protein powder from GNC for like $30 to $40. Oh, and hey, I gain absolutely nothing from telling you that. Okay, that's it. I'm done. That was fun. I think that's the very first time in a video I have reacted to somebody reacting to me. That was quite a ride. That was fun. If you made it this far, comment Nancy. You are the real MVP for sticking it out. Another big thank you to our friend Melissa. Remember, that's her fake name that we're using. You know who you are. I really appreciate you sharing this stuff with me. And thank you all for being here and watching and showing your support for me and my cause. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you enjoyed me and want to hear more of my ramblings and see some shenanigans, hit the subscribe button. That is it for me today. Queen Lemon, over and out. I gotta try and show you guys a dog before the camera overheats. Or no, we're not in danger of overheating. I have killed this battery. That's what it is. That's a foster puppy. Everybody, Stormy is our foster puppy. There's my Alpha. Hey, baby. She's up for adoption currently, and she's just so freaking precious. She's super chill because she just got fixed yesterday, didn't you? Didn't you, baby? So she's still a little lethargic. She is 10 months old, and she's just a precious, sweetest girl. Look at this face. Oh my goodness. Oh, be careful, baby. Be careful. Hey, baby. Hey, baby girl. She is just sweet as pie. She's a fast learner. She already knows sit, and we're working on lay down. And she's doing really well with housebreaking. Oh my goodness. Did this video just turn into a adopt me video? Oh, I gotta help her gently get down off my lap. Who wants to say bye? And look at Alpha. Alpha, are you being jealous of the baby? Nuh-uh. Okay, see, you're gonna have to get the cone, Mama. I don't like putting the cone on you, but you're gonna have to get the cone if you don't stop. Bye, ladies.